Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah Payton. I have been in a reading slump and I would like to get out of it. So I'm gonna see this week if I can get through some books that I am in the middle of or start some books that really spark back my love for reading again, because I really miss reading. I've just not been picking up my books. I've been picking up my phone and scrolling and it's gotta stop somewhere. So I figured this video is going to be dedicated to helping me get back into my reading habits, setting some reading goals, setting some phone boundaries, and seeing how much I can read. And I am also a photographer. I have a lot of editing to do, so we'll be seeing how much I can read while working and being a mom. But let me start with talking about all the books that I am in the middle of. So I'm currently in the middle of the Jessa Hastings book, The Conditions of Will. I am enjoying it. I'm about halfway through and I just put it down like a week or two ago and I have not picked it back up, and I really need to finish it. I started this Lauren Groff book, The Vaster Wilds. It's a lot darker than I was wanting, and I think I'm actually going to be putting this back on my shelf. It's got some snowy imagery in it and I'm just not feeling it right now, if I'm being honest. So I'm going to let myself maybe read that another time. It's also very dense writing. And it's just taking me, it's hard for me to pick it up because it's just like heavy and it's just not what I'm in the mood for this summer. I am in the middle of The Bee Sting by Paul Murray. I'm probably almost halfway through this. I need to finish this. It's a library book, so even more reason to finish this really soon. Maybe this can be a book that I can just kind of like finish, and I think this is gonna be 5 stars. I just need to read it. It's about family and it's literary fiction. I need to read this one. Then I'm also in the middle of The Lord of the Rings. Okay, don't come at me. I started this in my birthday reading vlog and that was in February. So this is another book that I really need to pick back up and finish. Then we have The Little Prince. This could be a good one to read quickly. I hear this is a really good book for creatives and artists and I'm really enjoying it so far, but I put it down and I haven't picked it up. This is like a children's book, I believe, so I think I could probably pick this up and finish it in one sitting if I really wanted to. I'm also in the middle of Graceling by Kristen Cashore. I'm also liking this one. The cover's off of it at the moment, but I'm like this far through. Yeah, it's young adult fantasy. I'm gonna talk about this one later because honestly it's been a minute since I picked it up and I don't think I can give a good synopsis on it. But I am liking it. I do want to finish that. And then I'm also in the middle of Cursebound. I was reading this on my Kindle. My Libby hold got returned to the library. And this is one that I am excited about because I loved Faybound. And I've been thinking about this one. So this would be a really good one, honestly, to read and see if it kind of pushes me back out of this reading slump. So I don't know what I'm going to read, but I just wanted to check in with you guys and bring you along with me as I am trying to get out of this reading slump because I love reading. I love reading so much and I've kind of lost it a little bit. I have just, honestly, I'm out of the habit and it's hard to pick up the book. It's easier to pick up my phone, you know what I mean? So I think I'm gonna start working on building back these habits, getting back to reading and my me time, and I'm really excited about it. It's summer. I feel like I might create like a little summer TBR, and I might scrap all these books. I have no idea, but I'll bring you with me and I'll let you know what I decide that I want to read in June. So I will check back in when I read something or have some sort of update. Okay, let's do a little check-in. I am getting cozy for the night. I'm about to dig into my book, and I wanted to show you what book I chose. I am going to be reading The Friend by Singer Nunez. My 5-year-old actually picked this out for me. I laid all the books out, and he chose which one I should read. he said this was the coolest cover, or a funny cover, I think he said. So we're going with this one. This is about a woman who loses her friend. I think you will need to check trigger warnings for this book, but I believe she's going to take in her friend's dog. So I'm excited to read this. It's literary fiction. I love a book about grief, so I'm excited for this one. But otherwise, I just want to chat about my tips and tricks for getting out of a reading slump. So trick number 1 would be to revisit a favorite book. I think this is a great way to get out of a reading slump. If you're not sure what you're in the mood for, nothing's working for you, maybe read a book that you know you already love. Also, short stories or poetry collections. This is a great way to read something that can maybe trick your brain into completing something and making you feel like you have accomplished something. I also recommend a book that's really quick, maybe a thriller, a horror, a romance book, a young adult book, something that you can read that may not take as much energy to read. Like if you're trying to read a classic, you know, that might be a little bit harder, but if you try a different genre like a thriller or romance, that could be an easy way to help get out of your slump. Switching up genres is also a good way to get out of your slump. And audiobooks. Audiobooks are a great way because you can listen while you're doing something around the house, on a long drive, or commute to work. It's really easy to put in, and that way you're not as tempted to turn it off or to stop reading. I've been in a slump, and I just believe it's because I've been busy and I've been picking up my phone and scrolling more than I have picking up my book. So the goal this week is to be swapping that and being intentional with my free time. So tonight I'm going to be cuddling up, getting cozy, and reading some of my book. This is a really short book, so this is why I put this on my June TBR. And by the way, I put together a June TBR. Tomorrow I'm going to sit down with you guys and chat about the books that I chose and why I chose them. And then I'm probably going to sit down and write out some habits and goals that I would like to have for the next few weeks to try to make sure that I am being intentional with not going on my phone and picking up my book when I have the opportunity to. So thanks for listening to my little rant, and I am gonna get some reading in. I'm gonna probably turn off my phone for the evening, get my kids in bed, and read more of my book. I am excited. I have some other books to pick from, so I don't know if this is gonna be the one I'm sticking with, but for now, I'm gonna give it a read. So I will check back in with y'all tomorrow when I've hopefully read more than 10 pages. Okay, let's do a check-in on my June TBR that I put together. This is a little big. I'm planning on not reading probably all of these, but I wanted to give myself a little bit of freedom to mood read if I wanted to, but lately I've been trying to mood read and it hasn't been working for me. Unfortunately, I really love a list, I love a checklist, and I love a TBR. I think they're really fun to put together. I apologize, my voice is going in and out. I've got some hot lemon honey tea, so I'm hoping this will help me feel a little better. But let's just jump into the books. Okay, so first I've already started The Friend by Sacred Nunez. I'm not going to give a reading update right now, but I'm on part 3 and I'm really enjoying the writing in this so far. So next we have Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. I mentioned thrillers can be good to get out of reading slumps, So I put this on my list. I've heard this book is not great, but I always have a fun time with Riley Sager books, and one of my favorite Riley Sager books is actually Survive the Night, which is like his least popular work, and I had a really fun time. I just kind of suspend my disbelief a little bit, kind of close my eyes a little bit, and I have a lot of fun. So we're hoping that maybe I will actually enjoy this. I don't know. I don't even know what it's about. I'm going in blind. Then we have Emily Henry's Great Big Beautiful World. I've also heard mixed reviews on this. I'm trying to not listen to the reviews because I'm a little late to the party, but I hope to read this in June. Like, if I don't read this in June, come after me, because Emily Henry's my favorite author, and I'm like putting it off a little bit because I don't want it to be over. So then we have, again, I'm going in blind. The Hunger Games. This is young adult, so really good. Oh, let me also say, picked Emily Henry for this TBR because it's a favorite author, so easy to revisit, or easy to read because I already am comfortable with the writing. Then we've got The Hunger Games, and I've already read this, so this would be a reread. I read this in like middle school. I would like to revisit this and see how I feel as an adult. I've heard it gets even better when you read it as an adult, because all the themes and everything that Suzanne Collins is trying to say in these books, you just really get it more as an adult. And yeah, I'm really excited. I loved, what's the other one called? The Last Release. I loved that one. I haven't read Sunrise on the Reaping. I'd like to reread them all. And then I love Songbirds and Snakes. I loved that. So then we've got this teeny tiny Sally Rooney, another favorite author. This is called Mr. Salary. I believe it's short stories. Short story, favorite author, great thing to jump into. And she is really tiny, so. Another favorite author, Melissa Broder, Milk Fed. I think this is about eating disorder, so check trigger warnings, but favorite author, would love to get to this one. I need to make this quick. We've got My Sister the Serial Killer. Quick, thriller-like book. Horror? I don't know. It's about a girl and her sister is a serial killer. And I believe her targets are her boyfriends. And that just sounds like a fun time. Then we've got Better Than the Movies. Romance. Fits the list. Fits the bill. Young adult romance. Even more. I hope this will be kind of easy to read and maybe just a fun time. I think it's like a love letter to rom-coms, which sounds super fun. Then we've got short story collection, Homesick for Another World. Another favorite author, Otessa Moshfegh. Short stories. I don't know anything about them, but I love that there's like an alien on the cover, a spaceship. So I'm here for this. Whatever she puts in it, I know I'm going to eat it up. Then we've got Cursebound. Now this one is a sequel to Faybound. I loved it. To me, it's a better ACOTAR. Fae, but they're not like creepy, sexy Fae. They're like Fae, but yeah, I really love this. There's some romance, it's queer, and there's like a couple romances. One of them I didn't really like, but the other one I did, and yeah, I don't know, I had a really fun time with the first book, so I'm really excited. I already started this, so I'm already in the middle of it, but my loan went back to Libby, so this is the book that I'm in the middle of. It'd be great to cross this off the list. And so far, I was very hooked. So I'm excited to see where this goes. So those are my stack. There's like 10 books in here. And yeah, I think that all of these would be great to help me kind of... Oh wait, there's one more. A Certain Hunger by Chelsea Summers. I've heard fantastic things about this, especially from the Lit Fit girls that I trust, because I am a Lit Fit girly. And I don't know, I think it's about a food reviewer. And I think she starts eating more than regular food, if you catch my drift. I've heard this is pretentious, and I love pretentious writing and pretentious main characters that may not be likable. Sign me up. So I'm excited for this one. Yeah, those are my books, and we'll see what I get to. I'm gonna dig more into The Friend by Sigrid Nunez, and I gotta get some editing done, so I gotta work. I'm gonna finish my tea. I have a photo session later tonight, and I'll check back in with you guys when I have more reading updates. Okay, reading update from my cozy kitchen as we are making dinner. We're cooking out tonight. It's really nice. It's finally summer and we have a back porch and it's just really fun and I'm excited for more summer nights like this. But I wanted to give a quick reading update because I am about halfway through The Friend by Sigrid Nunez. And first of all, I want to comment on the fact that this book at times has no quotation marks. And I have read a few books like that are in the literary fiction genre that people would typically say that's like something Sally Rooney does. And Sally Rooney is one of my favorite authors, so I always love when an author also writes like that. Now, there are some quotation marks in here, and I actually haven't picked up on maybe the reasoning why some is in quotation marks and some is not. I need to kind of pay close attention to that because there might be a reason why that's happening. But yeah, so something I've noticed about reading a lot of lit fic is that it is a style that other authors use, not just Sally Rooney. If you explore more of the genre, you might notice that, but it's something I really love. But also, I want to talk about the book. So this is a book about a woman who is grieving the loss of her friend slash complicated relationship, and I'm not sure how we're supposed to feel about this guy that she knows. I believe he was like her mentor as well as a friend, and he does some like suggestive things like he's involved with younger women or barely legal women and or girls. And you know, I was kind of like, okay, how am I supposed to be feeling about this dude? He has passed. I believe that he did take his life. So in the beginning, you're just kind of like reflecting on some past moments and memories. And he had multiple wives. The wives are like unnamed, so it's really interesting how that is written. I wonder if there's just like a disconnect there with the women and our main character. But it's also really sad because she has to take in his dog. It's a Great Dane, so he's like a big dog, and her apartment complex does not allow dogs, so she like secretly takes the dog in because nobody will take the dog. His third wife is like, I can't have this dog. It will make me sad. I don't want the dog, and it will be unfair to the dog, and then also it will make me think of her husband that has passed. So fair enough. Our main character takes in the dog, and this is written with like not a whole lot of plot, so but there is a little bit because she's taking in this dog, and I'm just thinking it's more character driven, and I'm excited to see maybe this relationship with this dog kind of grow or where it goes, if there is a relationship there. So far I haven't gotten much into that yet. I feel like we might get more there, but yeah, I am really enjoying the writing in this. It's really easy to read and it's easy for me to pick up. I'm on part 4, and yeah, I'm enjoying the writing, and again, I love books on grief, so far it's really working for me. It's really sad though, trigger warning, dogs and their like people loss, like, and how a dog might react to that, and it kind of talks about that, and that was kind of sad. But so if you're like a dog person and super sensitive, you know, this might be a good book for you, but it also might be like a sad book for you. So keep that in mind. Yeah, I'm interested to see where else it goes. I'll give another update once I'm maybe a little closer to being done with it or finished with it. We're gonna have a family evening. I'm hoping to read like 75 more pages tonight. That's the goal. Don't know if that's gonna happen, but we will see. So anyways, thanks for joining me in my kitchen, and I'll give you more updates when I've probably finished the book. I'll probably come back and give you a little my thoughts when I'm done and see what book I decide to start next. So we're gonna finish dinner and I'll check back in with you guys later. time to check in with habits and goals that I am wanting to kind of implement soon or today, because I've kind of written some down, but I just wanted to kind of walk through it with you guys. So I wanted to set some goals to keep myself accountable and to keep myself intentional with reading and scrolling on my phone, and how much stuff I am consuming on a daily basis inside my phone. It's not healthy. It has not been a healthy amount, and I'm wanting to change that so that I don't, lose myself completely. So some goals that I have for the summer, I think for the summer. So first, I would ideally like to read like 8 books. Like, that's not a whole lot, but I think that's a reasonable goal to push myself. Like, if I can read like 4 a month, I'm happy. June and July, because that way I could, do some audio if I wanted. And if I don't hit 8 books, it's okay. I think I need something to kind of work towards, but like if I don't hit the number, it's really not a big deal. I also am setting a goal to read from my bookshelf more. I think that I had this goal at the beginning of the year and it's kind of flopped. I've been going to the library a lot, which is great, but I've just been abandoning my physical TBR, and it needs to go down. So reading from my shelf more is a big goal that I want to have, and putting my phone up in the evening is my 3rd goal. I need to put my phone up after a certain time. Maybe that's when the kids go to bed, unless there's like important stuff that I need to do that I couldn't do when the kids were awake, but typically that's not the case. Typically I can put the kids to bed and I can have some relaxing chill time and preferably reading time. That's the goal. So hopefully I can put my phone away at night after 7, turn it off, put it on a charger, not think about it until the next day. And the next goal is going to be not getting on my phone first thing in the morning. This is a very important goal. I want to pick my book up with my breakfast instead of going on my phone. I typically try not to open social media first thing in the morning, but sometimes I will open it, check my texts. Sometimes I'll find myself opening Instagram or TikTok, and we gotta cut it. I need to kind of start my day and then go in and see what people are needing from me, what people are talking to me. I can do like emergency texts or like my mom or some of my friends if we have plans, but for the most part, I'm wanting to kind of set the boundary of like not picking up my phone until I need to do like work or whatever it is. Okay, I'd like to read 2 classics this summer. That's a low goal. I think it's achievable. I think I could read 1 classic a month, maybe. At least I'd like to get 1. I think there's a Virginia Woolf I've been eyeing because it was actually mentioned in the book The Friend that I'm currently reading. So I've been thinking about reading To the Lighthouse. I would love to read Pride and Prejudice. I don't know. I think that I'd like to just at least start on 2 classics. Even if I don't finish 2, that's totally fine. Okay. I want to be trying to read 30 minutes every day. That is such a small amount of time. I can totally do it. Some days I don't even read 30 minutes in the day. 30 minutes, or this is kind of a different goal here, but I want to maybe read 75 pages a day, or at least 50 pages a day. I'm not gonna stress myself with 100 pages, but if I don't want to do the counting time, at least I'd like to get like 50 to 75 pages read a day. That way, and if I'm reading a book that's really, really dense, I'm not gonna force myself to hit that goal. But if I'm reading something that it's totally achievable, I think I need to be pushing myself to be picking up my phone less and picking up my book more. And I think I can totally do that with the free time that I have throughout my day. Some days are busier than others, and that's okay. But I'm talking about the days where I have the time and I'm not taking advantage of it. Last goal, post to YouTube like 4 times a month. Now this is a hefty goal. I don't know if I can actually do this because I have kids. But I am wanting to make some more vlogs, which really don't take up that much time. And wrap-ups or just reading check-ins or just reading recommendations. I am trying to potentially get away from the other app of the short form content that I have been posting on. I think I really would like to be posting on YouTube more. So the goal is to try for a little bit, see how it goes, posting 3 to 4 times a month. And yeah, let's get into habits, because those are some great goals. Habits are also very important to me. A habit is I would like to pick up my audiobooks a little more than I have been. I've been slacking. I think that it's easy to watch YouTube or just scroll TikTok. I'm okay with watching YouTube videos and I love listening to music. But any other times that I feel like it would be beneficial to pick up an audiobook, I don't see why I shouldn't be doing that, because it's a great way to read, and I would like to read more nonfiction on audio. Cameron with Slaggy Book Club has influenced me to really push myself to read more nonfiction audiobooks, because she's recently discovered audiobooks, and I love a good audiobook. I personally read a lot of fiction audiobooks. I am encouraged by her to try more nonfiction. I've done some, and I've really enjoyed it, so she's kind of motivated me to do that a little bit more than I have been, so maybe it'll be a nonfiction audiobook summer. That sounds kind of fun. So, I'm always wanting to grow, expand my mind, learn more, learn as much as I can, and evolve myself as a person and round myself as a person. And I love to hear from other people's experiences. I think that reading really is good to develop your empathy for other people, and I just think that's beautiful. And I think nonfiction is also a really great way to do that and just to learn. I really want to learn more. So, nonfiction audiobooks are probably something I'm going to be focusing on, and I'm going to create a habit of that with audiobooks. Reading with my breakfast, I've already said this, but instead of picking up my phone, I just want to get in the habit of picking up my book first thing in the morning, even if that's not with my breakfast, maybe it's my coffee. I want to be reading my book with my coffee first thing in the morning. It's the first thing I want to see. I don't want to see my screen. I don't want to see your Instagram post. I don't want to see your YouTube video. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I want to be in my book first thing in the morning. That's just me. But, sorry. That's just me. But I think I can do it. It's something I do sometimes. I just don't do it every time. So I've been better about it lately. Can't lie. Okay. Reading more outside. It's summer. It's getting a little hot. Reading by the pool. Doing an audiobook by the pool because I have kids. I can't always just read by the pool because I have kids. But reading in the backyard, reading in the front yard, reading on the porch. I want to do more of that because it's summer and I want to be outside. I love summer. I love being outside. I want to go to the beach, read on the beach. Something I also want to do is getting better about journaling my thoughts after and during reading a book. I think sometimes when I go to film a book review, I realize I'm like, okay, I don't remember all of my thoughts. I know I had thoughts and I've let them slip. I want to just get better about being intentional with journaling and writing out my thoughts. I think that will be a really fun thing to reflect on once I'm finished reading a book, or later down the road, I can go back and see my thoughts as I was reading the book. I think that's really cool, and I want to do that more. I also like to reading journal more. I should write that down. Reading journal. I would like to reading journal more this summer. Get a little creative. I don't know. I tend to set it up and then I never touch it. I'm one of those kinds of people. So maybe it's something I can get back into. Okay. Create more tbrs. I've learned these past few months that mood reading doesn't work for me. It just doesn't. I'm sorry. I love the idea. I love the sentiment, but it doesn't work for me. It just doesn't, and that's okay. Everybody's reading is going to look different, and I think it was fun that I tried it out, and then I can learn that I'm definitely a more structured reader, where reading is fun, and I do like to read, but I kind of need some sort of guideline for myself, or I will be a little too free with it and nothing will get done. So reading goals and reading TBRs for each month is going to be something that I really would like to do more, and nothing that's like super serious. It's just for fun, but it just kind of helps me kind of know what I want. And it also helps me be more intentional with what books I'm picking out to read, because I've noticed with my mood reading lately, I'm just kind of like picking books that really are not books that are probably really for me. I'm just like, oh yeah, that sounds good for my current mood. But like, I can't trust my mood. I can't trust it at all. It's sometimes wrong. And I think that's great if you're really aligned with your mood. I am not. I would like to be more intentional and just create more TBRs. That's the goal, or the habit that I would like to be doing. So I think I just said the last habit is being more intentional and not reading just to read. Like, I don't want to be reading a book and completing a book. DNFing is something that I need to be DNFing more, not hanging on to these books that I'm in the middle of. I'm like, I just need to cut it, like, and move on to something that's really going to add value to my life and add value to my reading life and add value to me as a person. And sometimes some books are just not for everybody, and that's okay. And I just want to be intentional and not just reading to read. I don't want to read the book just because everybody else is reading it, which I don't do that anyways. But, you know, sometimes it happens, okay? Sometimes it happens. And I just want to be intentional. Intentional is the word that I am striving towards. So, anyways, these are my reading habits and goals, thoughts. It's time for a reading update because I have finished The Friend by Sigrid Nunez, and it was a 5-star. I'm so happy that one book into this video, I feel like I'm already getting out of my book slump. It feels amazing to find a book that just really resonates with me and works for me. I think a big reason why this book worked was, one, I loved the writing. Nunez's writing is very witty, and there were parts that I was laughing out loud and talking to my husband about, just reading some of the quotes out loud to him. I just thought it was really funny and witty and very sharp and reflective. I felt like as I was reading, it just made me like think a lot, and I love that in a book. That's why I love Never Let Me Go by Ishiguro, because I just love a book that just makes me reflect as I'm reading. And there were just passages in here that I just was like, wow, and I just kind of sat with it. And yeah, this was 5 stars. I think that this book is not very plot driven, so if you are somebody that's looking for a plot, I do not recommend this necessarily to you. But it's also not super character driven at the same time. And I don't know if that makes any sense, but you are in first person POV, and as you're reading, it just really feels like somebody is sitting down and just talking to you about different memories and just different art. Like, this book, that didn't make any sense, different art. But I think a main reason this book also really worked for me was because it spoke a lot about art and writing and the art of writing and being a writer and being an artist. And I'm always searching for a book that is about art or artists or just life of artists and life of writers in this case. And I also loved how Sigrid Nunez would reference different books that I've either read or I want to read, and just different authors, and you can just really tell that her heart was in this. And I loved it. It made me feel good. And yeah, it's about grief, but it's not super heavy, and I know that she referenced Virginia Woolf to the Lighthouse. I have not read, but it's actually on my 25 for 2025 TBR, and so I just think it's really cool. She also referenced Kafka, which I have not read Kafka yet, but I have it on my shelf, and a lot of other ones that I want to read and I have read, and I loved that. So if you like books about writing that is not necessarily like a romance book about writing, I think you could really get something out of this, and I think everybody could get something out of this. If you're a dog person, I think you'll get something out of this. And yeah, this was The Friend by Sigrid Nunez, and it definitely was a great companion to have along with me this week. And it's a book that I would like to reread, and it's a book that just makes me happy, and I really, really, really loved this. Yeah, that's why I read, to get this feeling that I have right now after reading this book and chasing that 5-star. So that was The Friend by Sigrid Nunez. And then to kind of see and test the waters if I'm really out of my reading slump, I had my 5-year-old pick out my next book, because I don't want to mood read at all, because I just don't. So I would like a book assigned to me, so I had my 5-year-old pick out my next book. I picked out a few that I was in the mood for-ish, and I was like, pick one of these. Which one do you like the cover of? And he chose Emily Henry's Great Big Beautiful Life, and I am so excited because I think there's no better way to go into this book. I actually started this book right when it came out, and I was in a slump, and I was worried that could affect my reading experience with this. My history with Emily Henry is every single Emily Henry release is a new favorite of mine. Well, Funny Story is up there, but Happy Place, the one before that, it was like Book Lovers was my favorite, then Happy Place is my favorite. Funny Story up there, it's probably like right there with Happy Place, but Happy Place like really attached to my soul. Something in that book like really connected with me, and I think that's the fun thing about Emily Henry. I think different books connect with different people. I've heard this is her most different work. I believe she did some different stuff with this. I don't know much about it, and I don't know people's reviews, so I'm excited to kind of see what I think about it. It's a mixed bag, so I've heard. But I love Emily Henry with my whole heart, and I believe that she is a talent, and that's just my personal opinion. Okay, I think she's very talented in writing, not just the romance genre, and I've heard this is less romancy, so I'm excited to see what she does with this. I think this is also about an author. I think you're getting two people and they're like speaking or interviewing or something with an author. Sounds fun. So I'm gonna go in not really expecting a big romance, maybe more literary vibes, but anyways, regardless, I'm excited to start this. So we're heading to the pool. I will give you an update when I read some of the Emily Henry and let you know my initial thoughts, but yeah, those are all the check-ins I have, and I'll talk to you later once I've read some more. Okay, let's do a quick initial thoughts check-in on Emily Henry's Great Big Beautiful Life. So, yes, this is definitely more literary than your typical romance. So, if you like literary fiction, try it. I think so far I'm really liking this. My initial thoughts are, okay. So we have Alice Scott, who is a writer, and she is wanting to write this story on this woman. What is the woman's name? Margaret Ives. And Margaret Ives, it's kind of like giving Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo vibes with the like interview style. It's also kind of reminding me of The Only One Left by Riley Sager. Same thing. She's trying to talk to Margaret and get her story, uncover some truths about Margaret's life. Margaret was famous. She came from a famous family, and they're trying to kind of figure out what happened. There's a little bit of a mystery element with Margaret's like great-grandfather or something. Still trying to figure out the details here. There is a love interest. I believe he's going to be the love interest. His name is Hayden Anderson. I really like Hayden. He's a little bit closed off. He's a little bit mysterious. He's a little bit cold, but I'm kind of kicking my feet whenever they have interactions. I don't know. I'm kind of loving their little dynamic going on. Like, she's trying to talk to him. I didn't mention that they're kind of rivals in a way because he's also trying to write the story on Margaret. She shows up to visit Margaret on this island, and this guy Hayden is there. And that's all I'm going to say for now. Those are my initial thoughts on what's going on. I'm kind of just loving the friendship that's slowly happening between Alice and Hayden, because they're kind of like meeting up at different spots, little coffee shops, cafes, restaurants in the area on the island, because I mean they only know each other on this island because Margaret, she's busy. She's a busy woman. She's gardening, she's doing her things, she's kind of shooing them off when they're not around. So anyways, initial thoughts. I like it. I'm hoping it's going to be a 5-star. I'm hoping. I love Emily Henry's writing. It really like makes me want to keep reading. I don't even want to escape out of her stories. I love it. I love Emily Henry. I've said it again. And then also I can see how people maybe aren't liking this because it's not romance heavy so far, and also it's my one thing about this so far is when she's talking to Margaret and you're getting these like you're getting Margaret's story. I'm having a hard time with the characters and the names and kind of like caring about Margaret's story. So I'm gonna try to like not think about it too much, and I'm gonna try to care about Margaret's story because Emily cares about Margaret's story, okay? And I trust her, I trust the process. So I think I'm gonna just kind of stick with it and, you know, hope I love it in the end, because I can see why people may not like that aspect about there being like a present timeline and then there's like a story within the story happening. I get it if you don't like that. So if you don't like that in books, this has that, just heads up. But otherwise, I'm really, really liking it, and I'm gonna give some more of my thoughts. I'm gonna continue to go read. I'm gonna continue reading, and I will give you more updates as I have them. But we're going to the grocery store, so I'm gonna go get some groceries. I'm repping my Eras Tour t-shirt, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, I'm here to close out the reading vlog for getting out of my reading slump, and I'm happy to say that I accomplished that. I think I am out of my reading slump. I am still reading Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry, but I am really loving my time with this, and I'm excited to see what my final thoughts are. I'm gonna give my final thoughts in my next video. I've decided to wrap up this video as I am halfway through because I think that I have gotten out of my reading slump. And yeah, I'm happy about that. That was the whole point of this video. And my thoughts are kind of the same as last time I checked with you guys. I am still really loving this, and I'm still feeling a little iffy about the story part that we're hearing from Margaret. I'm still not completely connected to Margaret's family story, but I'm still reading on, and I'm still enjoying it overall. And yeah, I'll give more thoughts later, but that is my Emily Henry reading experience. So in this video, I completed 2 books and got halfway through a 3rd book. We read The Friend by Sigrid Nunez. I loved this book so much. This was a 5-star. This was definitely a great book to help me get out of this reading slump I was in, because it just felt good to read a book that just feels like me. Like, this is just the type of book that I love, a literary fiction that I love, and I loved it. I might give like a more formed thought, a more well-formed review in another video, but The Friend by Sigrid Nunez was a great study on grief and relationships and friendships, and I loved this so much. And it also was a great book about art and writers and the art of writing, and a little love letter to writing, and I love this. Okay, then I actually picked up Mr. Salary by Sally Rooney. This is a short little book, 30 pages. I sat and read this in one sitting out by our little kiddie pool in the backyard where my kids were playing, and it was a perfect little read. I'm a big Sally Rooney fan, and this book was just a great book. It's a great for 30 pages. It is about family and relationships, and so it was a little emotional, but also just so good, and I definitely recommend this if you like Sally Rooney. And yeah, those are the books that I read in this video. I also think I got a lot done. I created a TBR for June that I've been reading. I am just really happy with how this video went. I think it definitely got me out of my reading slump, and I will be having another video reading some of my most anticipated releases, so keep an eye out for that. This may or may not be a part of that. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later when I have more reading thoughts, but thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and I will chat more later.